Hello, Year 9. Welcome to the assembly of why we think you should be doing a GCSE in a language, Spanish. First of all, I'm going to show you a video.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät, das Überlebensradar.
Mayday, mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
So as you saw, that video is about a German company trying to get people to learn English. It works both ways. As you can see, it really highlights in a funny way how important it is to get things and the detail right. So also I want to tell you, learning GCSE Spanish is actually much more than just learning a language. Okay? It helps you to learn other languages in the future, not just one, because languages have common structures. I can tell you from my own experience, I can speak French as well. Only one of the main reasons I can speak French is actually quite similar to Spanish, and because I already knew Spanish, I found it a lot easier to learn. Also in GCSE, you learn about other cultures and how people live. I find that so fascinating to learn that what you think is normal is definitely not the normal in other countries. Also, food, music, history, lifestyle for the people around the world is all so different. Also, it helps you next time that you go traveling, go to Spain. I always say this to students, you never know when a language will become useful. I have certainly been in situations before where I felt really lucky I could speak Spanish, really lucky I could speak English or French. And it got me out of troublesome situations at other times, like I was involved in a car crash in France once. Thanks to me knowing French, it was a lot easier to deal with. Normally as well, other people, especially adults, when they talk about the things they regret the most in school, a lot of them say they regret not learning language, and very often they quote not liking the teacher. So I'm going to tell you now, none of those things are true in Swindon Academy. You definitely have teachers that I know most of you like, and you have the opportunity to be able to learn language. It's just your choice whether you take it up or not. Now, what do we think you should be doing Spanish at Swindon Academy? So, some of you already love learning languages. Some of you don't realize you do yet, but you all can. For some of you, it might not be your favorite, but you're improving. You're going to be getting better. It's all about practice. It's like any other subject. Some of us might find it tricky, but we are improving. Things that I hear students sometimes quote for not doing Spanish. It's going to be hard. How is it going to help in the future? It's not going to be fun. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to tell you the first one is going to be hard. Whilst is true, I think that's also true for every other subject. School's not easy. And just because something is hard doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. And I can tell you right now, we have every year students getting a level 9. Everyone can get a level 9 in Spanish, but all of those students have worked very hard to get there. Everyone can do well in Spanish. It's about putting the effort in. Now, let's bust some myths over the next few slides. So, myth number 1, it's hard. Let's bust it. So, yes, it's hard, but that doesn't mean that you can do well in it. If it's so difficult, so why do students at Swindon Academy do so well in it? So last time there were exams, the number of students in the whole country that got a level 4 above was 81%, which is the same as the students at Swindon Academy. Whereas the number of students nationally in the whole country that got level 5 or above was 64%, and students here got 67%. So students here did actually do better than the average, which is fantastic. And you can do it. It's all about putting the effort in. So it's hard. Doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It just means that with effort, you get a reward and you can do it. We've got fantastic teaching here that will get you there. Myth busted. So whilst might be hard, it doesn't mean it's impossible. So you can do it. Now, next one. It's not going to help me in the future. I would like to invite a guest of honor to answer that.
Hi everyone, I am Mr. Dominguez and I look forward to teaching you Spanish in year 10. I am here to talk about myth 2, which is that learning a language is not going to help you in the future, and that is not true. If you speak a second language, you will earn more money. In fact, employees really value people who applied and know a second language, and on average you will earn 12% higher salary than otherwise.
Myth number 2. It's not going to help in the future. If you speak a second language, you will do better at your interview. Employers find people who speak other languages are flexible and adaptable. In general, they are more easygoing.
Myth 2. It won't help you in the future. If you speak a second language, you will find a job more easily. Language graduates have the lowest unemployment rate of any subject other than medicine and law.
Another myth is that it's not going to help you in the future, and that is not true. In the UK, not many people speak a second language, so you go on to do GCSE Spanish. By the end of the GCSE, you will be fluent, and you will be one of the few people in the UK who actually speak a second language. And also you will be more popular to a potential boyfriend or girlfriend.
If you keep up your languages, you will be more needed in British industry, in jobs in this country. Why is this? So what percentage of employers do you think are looking for students leaving schools with some kind of language skill, maybe in Spanish, French, German, or other languages? Well, the answer is 74%. 74% of employers in this country are looking for people who have language skills. And that's going to be you if you take GCSE Spanish at Swindon Academy.
And languages, yes, they give you choices. In most careers nowadays, language abilities are highly valued, and there is a particular shortage of people with languages in engineering and finance. A GCSE in the language will make you more employable.
Did you know that 86% of the UK's richest under 30s speak a foreign language?
Hola, here's one of the richest people in the world speaking another language. So, can you recognise him?
So which languages are most in demand? Well, Spanish isn't top, but Spanish is very much in demand, third in demand. In Europe, German is most in demand, followed by French, followed by Spanish. And these are the languages rated by managers of UK businesses saying they want people speaking these languages. If it's not going to help you in the future, then why does every single student who goes to Marlborough College do at least one language at GCSE? If they all think it's important and they're going to go on and get the best jobs, we need to make sure that we do GCSE language as well, and then we can make sure that we get those best jobs too.
Thank you, guest speakers, for those very persuasive arguments. I think we can now say that that myth is busted. Okay, a language is very highly likely to help in the future. Okay, so they're not prohibitively hard. They're going to help you in the future. Okay, now let's look at the last one. It's not fun. Sometimes we hear this from students. I understand some people's idea of fun might be different, but I can tell you right now, if you look for it, you can find fun everywhere. And languages, the more you know, the more interesting they become. So let's have a look. Learning language does mean a lot of reading, writing, and listening, because that's what it is. It's language. but the maximum number of words in GCSE writing test is only 150 words. That's the maximum you're going to have to write all in one go. Now, think about what you need to write in those subjects. It's probably going to be more. Now, another thing, when you build on these skills, what they actually give you is they allow you to start accessing a different culture. And now, in my opinion, that's where the fun comes in. Suddenly, you can start watching videos on YouTube and following people on the Instagram or TikTok or other social media that speak Spanish, and you begin to understand. So you begin to actually start having access to millions of people's ideas that you didn't know you could have access to before. And that's where it becomes really interesting. So things that we do in the lesson that you might find fun as well, the games. Okay, we do games most lessons, because those games help you learn the language. They're not just there for fun. It's, again, you're accessing something else. So I also would love to encourage you to speak to many year 11s. They like the fact that we still play games in year 11 because it helps their learning, but it's not just that. I know all of my year 11s that I speak to, they like the language. Ask them why. What is it that they like about the lessons? And remember, in GCSE, 25% of each skill, because you might be thinking, oh, I hate writing. That's only 25% of the mark. If you get really good at all the other skills and you're not so good at writing, you can still get a really good mark. Okay, remember the skills are speaking, listening, reading and writing. You can balance out the skills. Okay, so it's not fun, I suppose, because subjective is going to be up to you to decide whether it's not fun or not, but I think my arguments were pretty good. I think it's fun, but you need to look for the fun. Okay, so let's call that myth busted as well.
So why choose Spanish? It's fun. It is not based in only one exam. You will be tested in 4 different skills. Most students in the UK will do a GCSE in a language. 1 in 3 of the CEOs in the world speak another language. But the most important thing is that it will help you to get a job, and a really good job.
So how about these for Spanish-speaking jobs? Travel sales account manager, Spanish-speaking, up to £40,000 a year. Yes, please, that's a good paid job. Right? What about this one? Get paid almost £10 an hour to play and test video games as long as you speak Spanish. There are good jobs, good well-paid jobs out there for those people with language skills.
So to finish off, I think we've explained the reasons why we think you should be doing a GCSE in Spanish. Now also don't forget, it's all about competition. When you finish school, we want you to get the best job that you can. And the more subjects that you have, the more breadth of subjects that you have, the better it's going to be for you. So I just want to show you here on this side, right there. Top 5 language graduate jobs: sales professionals, professional scientific and technical jobs, IT, education, accommodation, tourism. All of these jobs pay quite well, but also look at this massive list. There's loads and loads of different jobs that you can do with languages. And think about it. Imagine 2 people that have studied the same thing, they've been to university, they've done the same degree, they apply for a job, but one of them has a skill in language that's probably going to put them just above the other candidate. So it's going to improve your chances, and that's what you've got to do, invest in yourself. Okay, so we look forward to seeing you next year, all 5 of us, and have fun with your options. Goodbye.
Para la gente, muchísimas gracias y por todo, por la prensa y la gente en España y la afición en el Bernabéu y compañeros ¿Y cuánto mistes? Y 6 mistes, y 5 presidentes, y 4 casas, y qué más. Pero muchísimas gracias, es been un honor, un placer jugar con este equipo, con este club. Y muchísimas gracias y